For today, we have 4 members who are going to present on their experiences with co-op galleries. So, what's involved when you're a member of a co-op gallery? What have they enjoyed? What's been challenging? How has it moved their careers forward? Did they, at least one person who will talk was in a co-op gallery, left and came back. And so it'll be interesting to hear. Elaine, I'm forgetting who is going first.
Roni.
Hi, everybody. I'm Roni, and I'm a member of the Atlantic Gallery in the 28th Street site. We have a beautiful space in the Landmarks building there at 548. Been a member there for about 6 or 7 years. And what I like so much about it is the fact that when I do my work, I'm not good at marketing. I'm not good at publicizing. I'm not good at going to try to find venues to show my work in. I know that I will have a solo show every 18 months or so. And it really gives me incentive to continue exploring different ways of expressing myself through my painting. And it's been really rewarding. I had a show in September that I think was so far my best, and I sold a lot of work. I sold 12 pieces of work, which was really phenomenal. And it's like about being part of a community. Not only do you have the every 18-month solo show, but you also contribute to members group shows. And there's a lot of artistic autonomy. You don't have to worry about, censoring your work or doing what the gallerist wants you to do, but you can do whatever you choose to work. And you can have in your solo show, maybe you're not ready for a solo show. Maybe you want to invite a friend to show with you. Maybe you want to curate a show. There are different ways that you can have your space, so to speak. And also, it is expensive, but in terms of going to like an art fair once a year or once every other year and spending thousands of dollars, instead, by investing in a co-op gallery, you can have more than just your one particular show. You can have all these other opportunities to show your work, and even to join as a gallery, to go as a gallery like the Painting Center did to show in the art fair collectively. So I think it's been wonderful for me to know that I do have this space, and which is a very beautiful space. It is expensive, as I said, but we're trying to initiate a new kinds of membership, which would include maybe 2 people joining as a full member or 3 people joining as a full member. So instead of paying the $300 a month, which is our dues, you would pay either $100 a month, each of you, or $150 a month. So if we had more members, we would lower the monthly fee for all of the members. So it's a beautiful space and in a wonderful location. And we don't have a lot of members because we don't want to have too many members where you won't be able to have your show. Instead, we would hope to get at least 3 or 4 new members. And if you're interested in joining the gallery, please go to our website, atlanticgallery.org, and you can look and it would tell you everything about full membership, but we would also like to do this group membership. opportunity for people that would otherwise not be able to afford it. Okay, thank you.
I have a question. If someone wants to join the gallery, is it juried, or can it, like, have you turned people away because you didn't think?
Yes, we jury the people in. Before the pandemic, they would have to bring, their original work to the gallery, and we would have a meeting and talk about the person who's applying for membership would talk about their work, and we do this on Zoom now. So it would have to be something that most of the members wanted to have the person in the gallery, and that's the way we do it. Any other questions?
Take a commission from...
How many people are in the gallery?
There are 17 people in the gallery right now. We'd like to make it 20 and or even 22. And we would like to be able to lower the monthly fee if we had more members.
Oh,
so,
Roni,
okay.
Can you talk a little about your presence, the gallery's presence on platforms like Shim, and are you on Artsy?
Yeah,
because is that an added fee, or is that part of the fee?
Well, we have a connector group called Atlanta Gallery Digital, and that's just for members. So each member pays $50 a year, and it gets them 2 digital shows a year and online shows a year. Plus, it once you have that membership, you are also on Artsy. So that is a very good benefit. And we're hoping to start another connector group, which would bring in more members from different parts of the country and perhaps different parts of the world that would have a physical show in the gallery, like in August, 1 physical show in the gallery, and also all the other digital things that we offer. And this, it helps publicity, it helps to get exposure. I don't think we had many sales, but I think it's all about networking and connecting with people from different parts of the world. Like if we had members in Germany and we could kind of swap galleries and have a conversation with other people from around the world, which would be a wonderful benefit for our members and be terrific.
If you had more members, then you wouldn't show it as often. Is that right?
We
couldn't have that
right
many shows.
now, yes, I think we would, up until like if we had 23 members or 24 members
every 2 years.
We could still have shows every 18 months to 24 months, because
18 to 24,
right now we have slots that we rent out because we don't have enough members to show in those spaces. So we do make some revenue from renting out our space. And the shows are generally around 3 weeks long. We have a manager in the gallery, so somebody's always there. If members don't want to sit themselves, we pay the manager for sitting for us. So she's wonderful. She does a lot of the graphic designs, and because she is a graphic artist, and she's a very personable person.
Does the gallery take a commission on sales?
20%.
20%.
For members, yeah.
Do you have to sit in the gallery yourselves?
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. Any other questions? Well, I hope, you know,
I have
I
one
could
question.
leave. Yeah, go ahead.
What is the specific focus of the Atlantic Gallery? A specific style, a specific medium? Do you look for anything or specific?
No, we have a diverse group of people who do you know, more representational work and some that do more abstract work. We have a ceramic artist who's absolutely wonderful. And, you know, we like to have a very wide range of work so that people are interested when they come, when they see the gallery and they see the shows that are presented there. And it elevates the gallery to have more diverse group of artists.
Oh, Roni, that's a great place to stop. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful to know more about the gallery.
Yeah, and if you, I'm gonna leave my email address on the
in the
chat, so
Perfect.
that anyone who's interested could call me up.
Great, and put the name of the gallery and everything, and that would be great. Thank you so much. And we are going to now move on to our next presenter, and that is Pearl Rosen Golden. She is at Prince Street Gallery. So there we go. You have to unmute, Pearl.
Got it. Okay. All righty. Hi, everybody. So what I like about the being part of co-op galleries, I've been with First Street also at some point, is co-op galleries give the artist freedom and security in terms of showing. And I was happy to find out that my former professor, Lois Dodd, was among the people who were interested in developing the concept of a co-op gallery years ago. And so that made me feel good finding out about that. So I have to tell a story that is something I thought about last night when I was thinking about what I was going to talk about, that really does distinguish also the character of the co-op gallery to a commercial gallery. So I joined First Street Gallery in, I think it was 1980. And my good friend Ellen Piccolo, who's now a member of the New York Artist Circle, I'm not sure if she's still on. She was on earlier. She joined shortly after I did, when we were about a year out of college. And so First Street Gallery at that point was on Broadway, and they had an elevator for the entrance that took you to their 4th floor gallery. And I was having my first show in Manhattan. This was a really big deal. This was 1982. And my mother was baked her famous mandel bread, and somehow it got out to the family that there was going to be food. And so as the show was happening, people were bringing more and more food, especially my relatives and good friends. And there was a huge table. And the kicker of this was when my aunt got off the elevator with her shopping cart full of food. And then we had an absolute banquet happening in the gallery. And it was really so remarkable of joy and celebration of my work and of people having a good time eating. And I was selling paintings. It was just a really special opening happening in Manhattan doing that. There's no way my family would be bringing food to a commercial gallery. And it was, the spirit of it was almost like the gallery transformed to my home. It was a very casual, fun feeling. And so that was one of the things that has always inspired my reason for being in the co-op, because it's your own when you have that show, and how you use your space and how you present your work and the energy that's part of it is something you can control in a co-op gallery. So I had to share that experience because it just really defined that. So I was with First Street Gallery. I had a show with them in 1982 and 1985, and both shows were really successful in selling work. And also I got written up in reviews in Art News, which was like amazing. And it was just a wonderful introduction to the co-op world and to being an artist. Later in 1985, my father passed away, and my life changed a lot, and I couldn't continue creating the level of art that I needed to make to put shows on. I couldn't afford it also. And I left the gallery world, but I did come back to Prince Street Gallery for a few years. And I had a very successful show there in 1990, but I couldn't keep it going. I now was working more than full time at the Queens Museum of Art and working as a consultant in the area of accessibility in museums, and also teaching in college. It was hardly, I never stopped painting, but I couldn't produce as I would have. So jumping forward to this past year, I had been getting back into my artwork, and Ellen Piccolo told me now is a good time to join.
I'm here, Pearl.
Out. What?
I'm here, Pearl.
Oh, good. You're here. Yay. I was looking for you.
Yeah, I'm back.
So Ellen Piccolo invited me, and Ellen is a director of Prince Street Gallery, co-director, and a fabulous one at that. And it's been a really great journey for us to be close friends in college, and then all these years to be involved in galleries. And so in terms of questions, I think I talked about what I enjoyed. I think the biggest challenge to the co-op galleries is it's all on you. You know, the marketing, the costs, but the gallery does do things to help you out. In Prince Street Gallery, we have a system where everyone takes turns sitting for everybody else, so that the cost of paying someone for sitting is either none or very little. And I think that's a great system. Most of the gallery members use that day in the gallery to get work done. They bring their computers, they get stuff done. It's not a day that's lost, and it's good to do just to connect you to the gallery and the workings of it. So I think that's a great system they have. They also have a jury system for people coming, and then we have members now from all over the country, and they have different scale of payment in terms of whether you can, whether you're local, whether you can contribute. Yeah, maybe Ellen could go through that.
Yeah, I can go.
Has a question about that. And so in terms of this being good for my career, yeah, definitely. And you still do have the freedom to search out commercial venues to show your work. There's no limit on there. There's also where there's no commission taken, which I think is very important, because then if you're selling work and other people are not, very often if you're selling work, you may well be contributing more in terms of publicity to your show. There may be things that you're doing that cost more for your show to make those sales, and then to give away a portion of it to the gallery when other people are not working as hard, it's not even, you know. This way it's even. There's, you know, you contribute and just your efforts and your dues, and that's it. I don't know if anyone has any questions for me.
I didn't understand the name of your gallery now, the one that you're working.
Prince Street Gallery is
Can you write in, because I don't know how to, if I'm understanding the spelling.
I'll write it in after I speak, okay? So there's this landmark building that is on 28th Street and 27th Street. And it's 247, is that right?
No, 427.
427, boy. I see it all the way.
And no, it's actually it's 547.
547 and 548.
That's it.
That's right.
Between 10th and 11th.
A lot of the galleries following the pandemic have moved into this building, and there's, you know, all the wonderful co-op galleries, we're all together. And it's been great. The energy in that building is fabulous. The new spaces that everyone is creating has been fabulous. It's just, I'm so excited to be there. And
so we have one more minute before we're gonna move on to the next presenter. So any last thoughts or questions?
Yeah, Ellen, maybe you should tell the structure.
Can I just say a few things? Sure. Yeah. We're a little bit different than Atlantic Gallery, from what I understand. We pay a lot less dues, but we have more members. And so we don't get to show as often. We get to show maybe every 2 to 3 years. And as Pearl said, there's no commission in the gallery. Everybody does the work and we share the work. What else? I guess that's it. I don't know. I've been a member of co-op galleries for about 40 years now. And I was first in First Street Gallery, and then I went into Prince Street Gallery. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy there. I think it's a wonderful community of artists. I feel like I'm connected to the art world, and I could do whatever I want. You know, I have recently switched. Well, I haven't switched. I'm still a painter, but I have been working in fiber, and this is giving me an opportunity to show my fiber work for my next show, if that's the way I choose to go. So there's so much flexibility and so much freedom that I wouldn't want anybody from a commercial gallery telling me what to do. Anyway, that's it.
Who's talking?
This is Ellen Piccolo, and the only reason I didn't spotlight her is because she's driving in her car, and so
thank you.
Not so much to see except the top of her car. So, but Ellen Piccolo is a relatively new but wonderful member of the New York Artist Circle. All our members are wonderful. So Pearl, thank you so much. This was a great presentation about Prince Street, and you'll put some things in the chat. Yeah. And we are going to go to our next presenters, and Emily Stedman and Elaine Forrest are both at M55 Gallery. And I think we're going to spotlight you together and let you talk together about your separate and similar experiences at the gallery. So Eileen, can we get them spotlighted? Let's see, there's Emily. Hey, Emily, and we're gonna bring Elaine on also. And so let you talk together. I hope that's okay. Okay, great.
Okay. Well, I have been in M55, which was formerly 55 Mercer Street, which has been around since the 1970s. And a lot of rather famous people actually started out, in those days and went through it. And then it joined with NoHo Gallery. We were in Long Island City for a while. And so we're in that also in the 28th Street building, which is goes the whole block, 27th through 28th. And so the reasons that I like it is because it really actually does give a tremendous sense of community. I've gotten to be friendly with people. I've gone on trips with them. Everybody's like really art oriented, although it is diverse. I also like the idea that, you know, the historical idea of it being, as Pearl mentioned, that the artists originally got together and created this thing of themselves that was outside of the commercial art world. It always appealed to me. You know, I just really, I love that idea because I'm sort of an iconoclast in some ways, and the idea of having, you know, gallerists, and I've sort of been in and out of this over the years. You know, I know people who I went to art school with who did a certain thing, and they got into very good galleries, and they've never been able to change it. You know, that's their product. And I feel so fortunate in this one aspect of my life that I've been able to do what I want. There's nothing else in life that I felt I could do that. But being in a co-op gallery just has allowed me to experiment. And also in the process, my sales have gone up. Like the last time I sold quite a few paintings, and it's also it's also made me think that way. Like, you know, I hired someone to help me get a mailing list from the people who came to the gallery, and then that grew, and then somehow, although the sales that I had, quite a few over the pandemic, like more, they weren't from the gallery, but I know that it had to do with that way of thinking, thinking like outside the box. You know, so it's been a positive experience. Also, it's sort of like, you know, I've heard, oh, it's just vanity gallery, but you know, you are vetted. When people come in, you know, everybody looks at their work and talks about it. So, you know, you're kind of in an elite group in a way. So I don't know what, Elaine just had a show there and sold quite a few.
Yeah. Let's see, I joined the co-op gallery because I knew people who were in it and I really respected them. I applied and I got in. And up to that point, I really wasn't very much into marketing my work. And the show that I just had, the joy of it was that I could show whatever I wanted. And I really appreciated that. I did show some work that I'd never shown that I did in 1975. And I also had work that I had done during the COVID isolation. So it really was a celebration of me, more or less, of work that I had done over the past few years. And some of it was not for sale because it was work that I really wanted to keep in my own collection. And I did sell a lot of work that I had for sale. So that was very, when someone said to me, I really want to support your art. And that made me think about the fact that they appreciated who I was and what I was doing. We're in that building with all the other artists. Other co-op galleries. We're actually above the Carter Burden Gallery. Our gallery is new to the space. I was the third show to exhibit there. And we're also an international gallery. We have people from Japan, Argentina, Paris. Israel, right. And so that's been sort of interesting, also getting to know those people. I don't know, Emily, how many members do we have?
I think we have 30, and we show every 2 years. We have a show, which I think is nice. Right. You know, it kind of, what I like about that is that it holds you, I don't know, accountable. Like a deadline sort of is important to me. And, you know, even though it's 2 years away, that can go really fast. Yeah, it's every 2 years.
Right. We are responsible for sitting the gallery, though, unless you pay.
We have a manager, but I don't know how that works anymore. She's paid, gallery director, and I think you only have to sit one time though.
Yeah. During my show, I chose to sit Fridays and Saturdays because I felt like the people I knew would be coming through. And I like that. I like sitting in a gallery because you get an opportunity to see what your public is like, what their response is to your work. So that's a very positive thing. I sort of enjoy getting dressed up and sitting in a gallery. So
yeah, it's really surprising when people, you know, you're sitting there and all of a sudden somebody comes in and it's really good to, I think something I have come to think about is talking about your work, and being there in the gallery is really a good practice for doing that. And even if, are you going to be more aggressive? Are you going to be less aggressive? So it's a very good arena for that. And of course the opening, you know, which is usually crowded, you don't really get to talk much about your work, and nobody really gets to even look at it because it's so crowded usually. At least that's what it is in that building, or always has been. As a matter of fact, it used to be so crowded they closed the doors.
I have a quick question from Monique Allen. She asks, how much is the monthly cost, and is the gallery open for application?
The gallery is $250 a month. It went up from $225. And yes, they're open for I don't know. Are they open?
I don't know. We just got a new person and someone dropped out. So,
but they always, you know, apply if you're interested. You know, I'm sure we do have some spots that we rent out. So I'm not on the committee that does that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions for Emily or Elaine?
No, but I'll put in the chat the name of the gallery if Monique wanted to apply.
Great, thank you.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
How did all of these folks select the co-op gallery that they wanted to join?
Oh, how did they choose which one? That's a good question, Lothoriel. Thank you.
I can tell you, I mean, it's kind of a personal story, but I knew this guy who, through people that I knew, who was a curator, and he was the director at the time of 55 Mercer. And so he said, you know, why don't you join? And I applied, and I got in. But I always loved 55 Mercer. I mean, I have to say, from the 70s, I thought it was a great gallery. It was a wild place. And so for me, it was sort of the reputation of it.
I think also people go to the galleries, the physical space of the galleries, and compare galleries if they like the physical space, and go to each of their websites and see what the other work is like of the members who are there, and also take into consideration how much they cost and what you could afford. So, and what the benefits of being a member are. That's the way I would do it. That's
great.
The way I did it.
So, thank you so much. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Elaine. Also, Pearl and Roni. Let's see. Let's just spotlight everyone for a moment who spoke, and then we can give you a round of applause. Do it. Where is Pearl?
Here I am.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I have to leave, right? I have something else I have to do today. So I'm going to make you host, Fran. And I'm really sorry to have to leave early.
Okay.
Only a few minutes
Okay,
left.
thank you, Eileen. And also I do want to say that it is 11, and so officially we are ending. But again, if Allie was here, she would say we have to give everybody a round of applause. Thank you so much for your presentations. And let's see. So I'm going to remove spotlights and just wrap up this
one other
meeting.
thing while everybody's still there.
Yes.
There is a show in Atlanta Gallery right now, and all of the members, all of the people who contributed to the show are in the New York Artist Circle because it's a show of the Brooklyn Critique Group.
Oh.
So please come and see the show and support your fellow or members of New York Artist Circle. And it's a great, really great show.
It is a great show. I was at the opening, and it's funny because as you were announcing it, I'm thinking, oh, that's great. What is it? And then you said it, and I was like, I was there. Thank you, Roni.
Thank you for coming.
Great. Thank you. So thank you all for a great meeting today and for all of your sharing and thoughts and saving the chat, and it will go out soon. Thank you again, David, for doing that with the chat. Yeah, that's it for today.
I'm sending out the link for the curated show.
Oh, excellent, Lois. Thank you.
You should get that
what is the city open call? You'll send that out?
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh, thank you for remembering that. Of course. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Right. And we will see you all on December 16th.
Wonderful meeting.